Long time no see. Sorry, we've been gone for a while. Because of that, I wore an extra tight shirt today, just for y'all. So we're gonna get on to Gladiator 2 review. We just saw it yesterday, and before I say what I have to say,
Gladiator 1 was 20 years ago. What was it?
24 years ago.
20 man, 2000.
Year 2000.
Okay, so Gladiator 2 was good. The acting was good. The only problem was we have to compare it to part 1. And in that case, this was like Gladiator Light. This was like, it should have been like straight to HBO Max. I think the only reason it wasn't was because Denzel was in it and he couldn't save this movie. He did a good job. Looked like he was having fun with the role. We laughed a couple of times. As, you know, you could tell Denzel was having fun, but this was literally Gladiator Light. It was, was this story necessary? No. 24 years, no. I mean, we didn't need this movie. And everyone who thinks this movie is, oh man, that is dope, it's fire, it's because they must have forgot part 1. Because part 1 was better written. It was just a better story. The antagonists were written better. Joaquin Phoenix, I mean, icon. I mean, that role made him. Joaquin, you hated him. And this one, you almost felt sorry for the antagonist. And once again, we got Denzel from Slauson. Like, we got Denzel from the hood. He was the only one who didn't have a Roman accent. It was like he was teleported from John Q to this movie or something. I mean, it just was Denzel. Everyone else had the Roman accent, and he was Denzel.
Probably one of his better performances because it was the most different, just because of the way he walked. That was something I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
He had a pretty flamboyant stride in this movie. It had me like, that was interesting. I noticed that. Everything else was Denzel. The scenarios that he's in brings you back to other movies that you've seen him in. And I feel like those were moments that weren't supposed to be funny that me and him started laughing about. I'm not sure if I just had some stuff that I seen like him in Training Day or every other movie. I don't want to get into spoilers, but there's just certain things that weren't supposed to be funny and we were cracking up.
Yeah.
Just
he had that smile. Remember when he was walking in the room with all the people? He was like, hey.
Yeah. He was like, that was like
he had the Denzel. He had the
right.
It was Denzel. When you embody a character, sometimes you change everything. Your accent. You're not any part of yourself. Well, we didn't get that here with Denzel, but it's always fun to watch Denzel. You know what I mean?
You got in his walk.
He had fun. The story was basically the same story, pretty much rehashed from part 1, just not done as well. It wasn't done as well.
Yeah, this is a true definition of there's nothing you can do to make it better than the first. When you've scored something as big as Gladiator, such an iconic movie that has set many trends over the years, there's not much you can do. Again, this was a good movie, but it's Gladiator 2. And I feel like that was, if any mistake was made, that was a mistake that was made. Them bothering making a sequel in the first place.
Yeah.
He mentioned it was 24 years ago. I'm not sure who this is for. Maybe this is a reach out to make a bunch of people think this is great. I'm going to go watch the original now and find something even greater. Maybe this will bring up DVD, Blu-ray sales of the original Gladiator because of this movie. That's the only thing. Otherwise, I don't see who this movie is for, because 24 years ago, those mega fans, I don't think they're calling for a sequel right now, 24 years later. I could be wrong. There could be some Reddit forums or something that I'm missing out on that had been begging Riley Scott for a sequel, and he finally just said, all right, like, let's do it, screw it.
They had horrible CGI monkeys. I mean, it was like, I mean, we talked about it in the trailer reaction. I mean, the CGI monkeys were, I mean, they were horrible. I mean, get some of them Disney guys to come over and help you out, or Avatar or something. Get something. I mean, I've seen a much cheaper films with better CGI. There was some rhino CGI, and it was the monkeys just had too long of a scene for it not to be funny. I was laughing. I was looking at him the whole time because I was like, this is definitely going in the review. I don't know if they had rabies. I don't know what was going on, but they just look horrible, man. In Gladiator 1, I don't want to spoil 1 or 2, but if you're like a young person and you never seen part 1, go see part 1 and then then you'll look at part two like, oh, okay, I get what they're saying. It's just part one is just way better, much better. The lead character, I won't say who he is or whatever. They had this alliance to him, all the other fighters. It didn't really tell us why they, you know what I mean? Why they kind of got in, like why they followed him. In part one, Russell Crowe, he gained their respect. He gained their trust. There was one thing that he did, but it shouldn't have gained. They shouldn't have followed
He
him off
shouldn't
of it.
have.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
the whole
saying?
community shouldn't have committed
Yeah,
to.
yeah. They
Yeah,
like for no reason. The story just wasn't fleshed out as well as the first one. But it was following the same kind of story, and it just didn't do it as well.
yeah. It seemed like they threw a lot at this one,
Yeah.
and it almost felt like the movie was overthinking on itself, trying to outbeat the classic original.
When this movie started, it had a montage of kind of like part one, like what happened during part one. And
Mm.
I was like, oh man, they're setting themselves up for failure if this isn't good because you're remembering how good part one was if you've seen it, watching the beginning of part two, and then part two happens and you're like, and I don't know, I didn't feel the connection like the characters felt more connected in part one. And just the whole, even the council, like when they were debating of what they should do, the stakes felt higher.
Pacing.
Joaquin, yeah, the pacing was better. Joaquin was a tyrant, man. He like
Mm.
come on, like y'all know, like he's like one of the best antagonists in a movie cinema history, like in in Gladiator One.
Even with that said, I feel like there's a lot cut out from this.
Well,
Um,
Denzel kissed a dude. You heard about that, right?
no.
You didn't hear about that? Yeah, he Denzel kissed a man. He kissed a dude in the mouth.
He was doing a lot of hand.
He was yeah, he did some stuff, but they took out his kiss with a man. They took it out.
He kissed so many hands. I
He
couldn't
kissed
even
the
tell
dude's
you what
cheek
you
too.
do. Yeah, yeah. So it's probably that
It's
part.
probably that dude. Yeah, they took.
Because after he kissed the cheek, he kind of like looked.
Yeah,
Okay, so I guess he was kind of.
yeah.
Oh,
Well, what
I,
he made?
I saw the walk, but I didn't see any action. Okay,
But
I'm
he
just
made a joke. Remember, he made a
yeah, I
joke.
wasn't sure what I wasn't. He was more so talking to the other guy. You
But
know,
he was talking about himself at one point. He was like, "Sometime I prefer na 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 na."
I,
You don't
okay.
remember?
That was when I looked at you
I don't remember.
because
But that's
I know
when
he's
Denzel
talking
started
to-
laughing. He was like, ah, ha, ha. He
Yeah,
did that.
yeah,
He
yeah.
did that like
But
twice.
that didn't even make sense because it. Anyway, that didn't even like. There's no balance in that.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was like,
Kudos to him for playing the role.
yeah, I mean, like
You know?
Denzel's amazing, and he had fun with it.
Yeah.
But like Joaquin Phoenix he was horrible. He was a horrible.
He was a cold piece.
He was cold. He was a cold piece of turkey. You know what I mean? Sliced turkey. It's cold in the refrigerator. No meat, just at the bottom, in the drawer, just
bone.
cold. Like when the ice starts getting on it. That was Joaquin Phoenix, man. And Denzel, like I said, he did his job, and the Emperors were good. They were funny. They weren't as much of a threat as Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin, you felt like, oh man, like these guys were more of a joke. It's just like I said, man. I can't say it more. The problem was this is going to be compared against part one, no matter who's in it.
They forced that on you, but with the intro. I mean, remember this, remember
Remember
that.
how good part one was?
Now watch this.
Now watch
okay,
this.
and?
HBO Max.
Okay, and
My my bet is you guys will be watching this on streaming before Christmas.
we recommend that you watch it on streaming.
Yeah.
Period. So with that, I'm gonna give it a Z.
Wow. You gave it a Z. Because Gladiator 1 is a full 3 cups for me, hands down 3 cups. This one I'll give a half a cup.
And again, it's not a bad movie, but I'm distracted. I'm distracted by why this movie was created in the first place.
Yeah.
Because of an instant classic. And they constantly remind you of that, like they're doing something.
Right.
In comparison, there's no comparing.
Right.
But it is a good movie. It's an okay way to kill 2 hours. Other than that, that's all.
But it's gonna make you want to watch part one. And like, man, you're gonna You'll never watch part 2 again. but part 1, I'm sure if you've seen it more than once. So that says it all right there, right?
It's worth seeing more than once.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
original.
Big time.
Yeah,
Hands down.
So, with that said, man, we appreciate you guys. We be out in the streets, and you guys are asking us when's our next video, and giving us subject, giving us ideas. We really appreciate that, and want to just let you know that you guys are motivating us to continue these videos, and we're gonna keep them going.
Yeah,
for sure.
Make sure to like and subscribe, because when you like it, more people out there who don't know about us get to see it. And yeah, please subscribe, and we'll keep them going. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Real Bros out.